Hey, what's going on? Vandal back again. Yep, we are here with another interview with our featured artist for episode 5 of the pop-up coming up this September 5th, Saturday. We have Marc Kuegle. What's going on, man? How are you doing?
Hey, good, good. Yeah, just in Bangkok right now. It's about 10:30 p.m. Yeah,
Nice. Thanks
and
so
you're in
much
Toronto,
for
right?
making the time. Yep, I'm here in beautiful Southern Ontario, Canada, and we are across the globe chatting in real time. And thanks really for getting on the interview. I appreciate it. It's like for me, it's always better to be doing these Zoom interviews as opposed to
Yeah, for
like
sure.
the text ones because we
Hmm.
can get I think more nuance in terms of the conversation. So I guess to start
Yeah,
out,
just much more personal. Yeah.
we'll I guess we can jump into a bit of background about you. Maybe like where you're from, how did you get into art, your inspirations, and that sort of thing. So I'll let you take it away.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm from Winnipeg, Canada, and I grew up outside of the city. I was born in Oakbank, so that's about maybe an hour from the city. So I was always involved in art, and I didn't actually get into graphic art until about maybe a year after high school. I was into more spray paint and stenciling and stuff like that. But then when I found graphic art, it was kind of the same deal, but you didn't have to cut stencils out or anything. You could do it all digitally. So I went more that route, and I actually went to University of Winnipeg for art school. But back when I went, the process to get in was way more difficult than it is now. So it was you had to put in, I think, about 10 pieces of something you don't usually do. So I had to do all these different arts I didn't like doing, and I had to interpret all these different ways of. I couldn't do it. So I did try 2 times. I didn't get in, and then I just kind of tried to do it on my own, and I self-taught basically everything from there, like YouTube videos, learning Photoshop. So I've been doing it about probably 15 years now, just on the side. And then I guess the last probably 4 years I've really pushed it. So I've had 2 solo shows back in Winnipeg, and I was working at the graffiti gallery there. So I had a lot of help from just meeting artists and all these inspirational people, and that kind of helped me push my art as well. So I had the first one 2018, I think it was my first solo show in the summer, and then I had about 20 pieces up. And then it happened so quickly. The next show was actually in Christmas time of the same year, 2018. And then that was up for, or maybe it was early 2019. I know it was winter time. And that was up for a bit. And then I was moving to Bangkok. So I really wanted to push my art here. And again, it's all about just meeting new people, exploring, checking out the scene and stuff. And I just happened to meet the right people, and I ended up having a solo show here in Bangkok on middle of January 2020 of this year. So it was at Goja Gallery in Bangkok, which you got to check out actually, right?
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
did definitely. Yeah, that was pretty cool. The timing of it all as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I would have met you back in January, February.
Yeah, it was February. I remember I think I
Okay.
came in on the 4th and I left on the 10th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it would have
Okay.
been that weekend there, beginning of January, February. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Nice.
that was right before everything kind of got a little crazy.
Right then, exactly.
Yeah.
So okay, so for the people who don't know, how would you describe your art? Like what's your style or
Um,
genre?
I've been told it has a very Japanese feel to it, which I do like old school Japanese art, and I feel like that kind of subconsciously influenced my art. And right around the time I was in art school for maybe, I was in there for about a year, I got really into Shepard Fairey. He's the one who runs Obey.
Hmm.
So I really liked his style and a lot of the sun rays and things like that. And his stuff is more against stencil art and spray paint. But I tried to not imitate it, but inspired by that into my digital art. So a lot of my art, you'll see a lot of like rising suns or sun rays, just I guess subconsciously from, I would say, old Japanese art, and then Shepherd Fairy as well. And it's evolved over time for sure. Like that was probably 10 years ago when I was kind of doing that style, but you can still see a little bit in there.
Hmm. What about photography? Is that another
Oh
thing
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
incorporated?
big time. So I've been into photography probably, I think I got my first digital camera maybe grade 9, and I would always just kind of go out, take random photos. And it's funny because I still have just a crazy library of photos that sometimes I'll just, if I'm working on a piece, I'll find a photo from 15 years ago that I'll incorporate in my art piece. So it's almost like a lot of my pieces are collages of old photographs to make this whole new world almost. So I
And
did. I was just gonna say I did this cool thing. It's called the mushroom or shroom drop. It's a worldwide kind of like a scavenger hunt, and I went into it and hid a picture in Bangkok, and one of the pictures I used for the art piece was from, I think, about almost 6 or 7 years ago that I just remembered. I was like, oh, I remember taking a picture of a mushroom long time ago. So I used that picture in the piece.
how did you even find that? Like, I mean, like I would imagine usually when you snap photos, it's based around like the date. You would like categorize it as a date, right?
Yeah,
When it
and
saves the photo.
I'm horrible at. I just have my hard drive, and it's just all the pictures. There's no files or anything,
So
but
you scrolled through everything to find it?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I tried using one from 2017. I found it on Facebook, but it was way too grainy. I couldn't salvage it.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what was it? Yeah, I was going to ask sort of, the process of creating, like going from the photography and incorporating the digital, uh, the tweaks that you do to the art. What are the programs that you're using to create?
It's all Photoshop. I never used Lightroom, but I just got it maybe 2, 3 months ago, and I'm using that more now as well. So I'll take a photo. Sometimes I don't even think of what I'm going to do with it. I just like the photo, I put it in my library and just hold on to it.
Hmm.
And then when I'm doing a piece, it'll just, oh yeah, that photo's perfect for what I'm doing right now. And then I'll use that, and it's like just layering and layering and layering. So for the crushing it uh, one, I think there's about 4 or 5 different photos I've had that I've combined into the one picture. And I just, yeah, some have, oh man, 20, 25 different layers, 10, 15 different pictures that I've just like, even the slightest detail I want from one picture, I'll cut it out, put it in there. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like a digital collage.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll take multiple pictures, collage it together in Photoshop, and then just use different brushes, different colors, and just basically tweak it
Okay.
how I want it. Yeah.
What about your camera? Like what camera are you using now to take
Uh,
your shots?
right now I have Sony A600, but honestly, like I've taken some with just my iPhone. Some I've taken on a really bad digital camera, and depends what you want. Like if you want the like a longer exposure shot, you'll use a better camera, obviously. But
Hmm.
it for certain pictures, it doesn't really matter what you use. I think it was 4 years ago. I was in Europe, and my camera got stolen the first week I was there. I was there for 4 months, and I met these friends who I had met previously. They actually gave me their old digital camera. So it was this, it was really small, and just it did the trick for the whole 4 months. And I actually got probably, oh man, probably 10, 15 new art pieces from that
Wow.
trip from that camera, which was pretty
Hmm.
amazing.
So then it's like not really what you use, it's how you use it, and also, the different attributes that the different pieces like these technologies have, like especially
Yeah,
for
totally.
photographs, like it could fit in with your piece. It doesn't necessarily have to, you don't have to have the super high end camera
Hmm.
necessarily, right?
Yeah, yeah, and it definitely helps for certain images you want, yes, but you can get by with just iPhone or any really digital camera.
Yeah, it's crazy now that the technology on the smartphones, especially the camera technology, it's sort of like you now really just have your phone is not really a phone, it's actually more of
Yeah,
a camera now. And
yeah, and
and
also a mini computer as well.
yeah, and a lot of people, like I've noticed, you know, from my conversations with different people in the crypto art space, how, you know, they're mainly using their phones, even just snapping
Hmm.
pictures, using the apps that are available on the phone to like tweak and add effects and do different things to animate, even for the GIFs and animated GIFs and stuff. That it's like really I think it's liberating in a lot of ways that you can just, you know, be so mobile but at the same
Hmm.
time be able to create art. Do you think like what like it seems to me you prefer to be on the computer and create on the computer, or do you also enjoy creating on your mobile?
I have never really done it. I haven't. It's just so like just so
Small.
tiny. Yeah, so I prefer the laptop for sure.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know, just even the visuals, like my laptop, my old one crashed about again 2 months ago, and just working on my phone, it was like almost giving me a headache because it's so tiny and you're trying to
Hmm.
read. So definitely
Okay.
prefer the computer, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right, so speaking of the collaboration with Zephyr Goodman, um, maybe talk about a bit about the process of creating the piece and maybe the inspiration that was used with the music, crushing it.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So they're from Germany. It was such a cool concept because you were in KL, they were in two different German cities actually, and then I was in Bangkok. So usually I'd message them. They wouldn't answer for a few hours because they were sleeping. Then they would message me, and then I was probably going to bed around that time. But yeah, it was great. Like they're so positive and ready to collaborate, and just like we had great chats about the piece. Um, you'll probably hear it, if not already heard it. So at first they told me it was about um, just the visuals were like a woman is dreaming, and then she wakes up, has this the verses that she says that while she's awake, and then she goes back to sleep. So I was trying to thinking, okay, maybe a dream space, dream state kind of thing. And then Zoe and Theo were telling me about they wanted maybe a apocalyptic dream or like a world on fire or something like that,
Hmm.
but still with a positive spin because they can kind of escape out of this apocalyptic world. And then I really liked something Zoe had said. She said the heart muscle is the size of fists. So I was like, okay, that's kind of like the heart's still pumping, the world's kind of chaotic, but it's still there, kind of
Hmm.
helping. So that's what I did. There's a big heart kind of representing almost in the middle of the sun, and that's like the positive pumping, and we can pull through this chaotic time. And it relates really well with what's happening right now, just
Yeah.
all over the world, with like the Black Lives Matter movement, and even just the COVID and just protests. Or there's lots of protests all over, especially in Thailand right now too,
Hmm.
Belarus, things like that. So it's just kind of we can power through, stick together, and then there's the two people walking, and they're supposed to be kind of anonymous people. You don't know who they are. It could be interpreted as the lady in the song, just two random people, and then they're kind of like working together to, who knows, just get through this or just be with each other while this gets sorted out, I guess.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, and she said one more
Oh,
thing: we keep on loving, we keep on fighting. That's another thing I was trying to go for.
okay. So that the fight to continue loving
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
and okay, beautiful. I've had a chance personally to see the piece. So if you haven't, if you're watching this and you haven't had a chance yet, do head over to our venue in CryptoVoxels, and we should, if it's close to the date, if you're watching this on Thursday or Friday, we should have it already set up for Saturday's event. And also, considering we are talking about the crypto art and the creation for this collaboration audio NFT, have you had a chance to investigate crypto art and blockchain and this sort of scene that's going on at the moment?
I've done a little bit of investigating. I'm still new to it, so I'm definitely down to explore the whole scene. It's just so neat and new to me. The whole that there's a venue in there somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a cool concept. I'm definitely intrigued. So that's why I wanted to participate and just see what it's all about.
Wonderful, man, because I think that's the beauty of what we're trying to do with the pop-up is that there are people who, like Theo is already quite involved in the crypto art
Okay.
space. And I think that he's also has a bit more of a background in blockchain, if I'm not mistaken, because
Mm-hmm.
he is quite active in the community. And it's kind of cool to see people like, bridging. We're basically bridging the gap, right? So we're bringing
Mm-hmm.
in artists who may not have had experience in the space, and creating this exposure to the opportunities and the potential benefits for creators. And
Mm-hmm.
hopefully what we can do is we can help to onboard artists into the space. And this is the main one of the main purposes, aside from the collaborative efforts between visual artists and musicians.
Mm-hmm.
As we grow the pop-up, we hope to bring in new artists into the space and create more opportunities and create a bigger and more vibrant community, so we can
Yeah.
celebrate each other's art and just have these another revenue stream as well for art. So like
Yeah, yeah, for
what we're
sure.
creating with this virtual space and virtual galleries inside CryptoVoxels or Decentraland, or it allows people from around the world to just kind of join in
Mm-hmm.
and experience it, which is I think another sort of way for artists to get their work out there and
Yeah,
share.
totally.
So you haven't dabbled at all in anything crypto?
Not particularly, no. Just basically what you were telling me about when you were here,
Yeah.
and then just a bit of research. But yeah, very, very new to me.
Okay, well, hopefully this will be a nice
Yeah.
introduction, and after this, we'll see some more of your work in the space. And if you need any help, obviously, I'm here to
Yeah,
assist,
for
and
sure.
we can go back and forth
Awesome.
and help you get set up. In the meantime, what do you have any shout outs you want to give, or anything you want to say before we wrap things up?
Not particularly. Definitely want to shout out to, I guess, Ryan Sticky Keys, the hat that you're wearing there right now.
Champion
Um,
sound.
he's the one who introduced me to a lot of the people that I met here, which kind of helped me get the ball rolling with all the art stuff.
Hmm.
And I guess Toru, he's the one who got me on the first show. And that's probably about it. Everyone back home, I guess Graffiti Gallery back home, that's kind of where I got the start in with all the local artists back in Winnipeg.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining me for this interview. For everyone out there watching or listening, make sure to come through on the 5th of September. That is this Saturday coming up. We will be live inside of CryptoVoxels. We've got Mark, we've got Zephyr Goodman, and we also have a special guest DJ, Trippy Yogi, as well, who will be performing a set for everybody. Don't forget, 12 p.m. Eastern time. That is 11 a.m. Bangkok time, isn't it? Is it?
Okay.
It is. I
I'm
hope
not
so.
sure. What time is it at in Toronto?
12 p.m.
Oh
Toronto
yeah, so
time.
that'd be 11 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go on
Sounds
the
good.
Sunday morning for you, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool. Cool. Awesome, man. Thank you so much again for joining me. I got special guest Fly here, just coming in to make an appearance. But
Yeah.
yeah, until then, take care, and I'll see you soon.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care.
Okay.
See you, Mandel.
Peace.
Peace.